Welcome to Dr. David Eifrig's Health and Wealth Bulletin. This is Weekly Update. This weekend is Memorial Day, which means time outdoors and plenty of cookouts. It's also the second most popular day for grilling, right after the 4th of July. That's why this week we wanted to go through some of our favorite tips to help you get the most out of your holiday weekend. We're going to start with grilling. Now, grilling meat produces two known cancer-causing compounds, heterocyclic amines, or HCAs, and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, or PAHs. Now, HCAs form from high heat cooking, and the 5 foods yielding the highest levels of these, when they're prepared well done, are chicken breast, steak, pork, salmon, and hamburger. PAHs come from the smoke. The cloud of smoke that rises when you open the top of your grill contains huge amounts of these chemicals. They form when pieces of fat fall into the fire. Now, partially burned up residue of fuel, like wood or gas, also contains PAHs. This residue sticks to the surface of food, but it also adds flavor. Now, the problem is that these compounds damage the DNA in our cells. Remember, anytime DNA mutates or is damaged, there's a chance it could turn into cancer. That's why we want to try to reduce the amount of these two compounds whenever we can. So first up, cook it low and slow. You want to cook over a lower heat and avoid letting the flames hit the food. The more rare the meat, the lower the number of HCAs and PAHs, but you still want to make sure you kill all of the bacteria that might be in the meat. So aim for something in the medium rare or medium range for a good balance. And if you do want it well done, just be sure to cut off any burnt or charred bits, because those are the ones that are highest in these cancer-causing compounds. Now, we recommend getting and using a proper meat thermometer to make sure you always hit the right temperature. It'll really help you down the road as you're grilling. Now, another good option is to go with thin, low-fat options. If you can, flatten out your food to help it cook faster and more evenly without burning. And be sure to trim the fat off of any cuts of meat. That's because, as we mentioned, the fat from the meat falls into the fire, and that causes the cloud of PAH-filled smoke. So the more fat on the meat, the more smoke it will create. Another tip we like to use is to don't pass on the veggies. Whether you add a fresh salad to your table or you throw some fruits and vegetables onto the grill, fruit and veggies fight cancer-causing molecules. In fact, vitamin C neutralizes the harm from the nitrates that are in the meat. And tomatoes especially are a great addition. Plus, fruits and vegetables are low in fat but high in fiber. That means they help keep your digestion regular, and they bind up a lot of those bad chemicals, helping them pass through your gut more safely. You can try grilling things like mushrooms, onions, carrots, zucchini, broccoli, sweet potatoes, corn, and even peppers. Now, my boss, Dr. David Eifrig, likes to grill fruit as well, including peaches, papayas, pineapples, and mangoes. And if you're putting together a nice summer salad, try adding some antioxidant-packed berries. Now, for our final tip, and probably our favorite tip, make sure you grab the beer. That's because one of the best ways to cut back on PAHs is to simply marinate your meat in beer before cooking. A Portuguese study in 2014 actually looked at grilling meats with and without a marinade. Specifically, they looked at 3 beer-based marinades. The researchers used pork marinated for 4 hours before grilling. They found that the light beer marinades, including one beer that did not contain alcohol, led to about 19% fewer PAHs than non-marinated meat. But the best was the black beer marinated meat, which had 53% fewer PAHs. Now, darker beers have higher amounts of antioxidants, which help fight cancer-causing free radicals. Marinades also add flavor and are very easy to make, so you should definitely reach for the beer when you're making your food. And if you're worried, the alcohol does cook off. Just be sure to marinate in your fridge to keep your meat bacteria free. And while you're at it, don't be afraid to enjoy a beer with your meal this weekend. Beer, remember, is a good source of B vitamins, which aid heart health, protect DNA, and protect your nerves. Plus, B6 is needed to make serotonin, which is an important chemical messenger in your brain. Now, similarly, a good summer wine also makes for a nice pairing for a cookout. Here at the office, we like rosé for the light, dry taste that pairs well with grilled chicken, fish, and some red meats. And also, wine offers antioxidants, the same cancer-fighting chemicals. And as a lot of our readers know, wine lowers blood sugar, decreases risk of dementia, lowers blood pressure, and even fights inflammation. Just keep in mind everything in moderation. 1 or 2 drinks is about average for most people, but this can change based on your personal tolerance, your health, and the medications you're on. So if you can have an occasional drink, enjoy one this weekend with your cookout. That's it for today. We hope you have a safe and happy holiday weekend. Keep your questions and comments coming to our feedback line. Like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.